Hey y'all, this video is going to teach you how to write the equation of the line when you are given a point and the slope of the line. So we should be pretty familiar with y equals mx plus b by now, so we can use y equals mx plus b to do these problems. This is another equation of a line. This is called point-slope form. And the reason we call it that is because this is really easy to use if you have the slope and you are given a point. So with this equation, everything that I am putting really dark, that stays there always. All right, and the little minus x1 and the y1, those are going to be the point that they give you in the problem. That's the point that they give you in the problem. All right, so I'm going to do each problem both ways. I'm going to show you the y equals mx plus b. I'm also going to show you the point slope way of doing it, and I have no preference on which way you decide to use. But my advice to you is after you watch this video, copy down whichever way made the most sense to you and just stick with that, okay? So the first example, our point is 2, 3, and our slope will be 4. So I'm giving you the slope of the line is 4, and our line has to pass through the point 2, 3. So I'm using y equals mx plus b first. So with y equals mx plus b, you are going to make sure that we label x's and y's. And so I'm going to replace the letter y with the number 3 because that's the y from the point. I'm going to replace the m with 4 because that's my slope. And then I'm going to replace the letter x with 2. Because that's the x from my point. And I never will know what b is equal to. So whenever you're going to use the y equals mx plus b, that plus b is going to be there always. We do not know the y-intercept. So we're going to have to solve this equation for b. So my first step is going to be to multiply my m and the x together, so 4 times 2 is 8. And this is just a little equation. I just have to get b by itself. So I am going to minus 8 on both sides, right? Because b is my variable. 8 does not have a variable, so I got to cancel out the 8. And 3 minus 8 is negative 5. So the only thing you have to remember to write your final answer. Your final answer should look like y equals mx plus b. The m is the slope that they gave you, and I just figured out that my y-intercept is negative 5. So my equation is 4x minus 5. All right, so basically you're just going to plug in y, m, and x. You're going to multiply. You're going to subtract that answer on both sides, and then you just have to remember to write your final answer as y equals mx plus b. All right, the way that point slope works, that stays there. Oh, and I shouldn't have bolded that. You are going to replace this m. Sorry, guys. You are going to replace that m with whatever the slope is. So the slope that they gave me is 4. That first x stays there. I'm going to plug in. So instead of saying minus x1, it says minus 2 because that's my x. And then plus 3. What you're going to start to notice with this is the number that you put in the parentheses with x is going to end up looking opposite from the point. So that was a positive 2x. And I write that as minus 2. I will let you guys know that this form of a line You're going to see that come up in Math 2. It's going to come up in Math 3. So it's okay if you don't get it now, but we are going to use that for all of your other math classes. All right, so with this form, I got everything plugged in. I plugged in m. I have -2 because that was my x. I have +3 because that was my y. I am going to distribute. So 4 times x is 4x. 4 times -2 is -8. I'm just going to drop down that +3. And now I just have to combine like terms. And -8 plus 3 is -5. And so we get the same answer. All right, and so really the only difference between these two, if you use y equals mx plus b, you are solving for b and then writing your final answer. If you decide to use point slope form, you just plug it in, distribute, combine like terms, and your equation is done. It's already there. All right, let's do another one. Remember, these are your notes. You should pause these. And like I said, I'm going to work these out both ways. You should copy down whichever way made the most sense to you. All right, so let's do this example. The point is -4, 1, and the slope of my line is 1/2. Let me get situated here, sorry. I'm running out of room on the paper. All right, so I'm going to do this one again with y equals mx plus b, and then I'll also do it with the point slope equation. So y equals mx plus b, let me go ahead and label my point so I don't plug them in the wrong spot. My y is 1, my slope is 1/2, my x is -4, and I'm always going to have a plus b if I'm using this method because I am solving for b. 1/2 times -4 is -2. All right, and I have to get b by itself, so I have to cancel out that -2. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides, and I got 3. So my final answer, y equals 1/2 x plus 3. They gave me the slope, and I just figured out the y-intercept was +3. All right, with this form, my slope is 1/2. Now look at, because the minus sign is a part of the formula, I have a minus sign in the formula, and then I have a negative on the 4. So what would happen if I had minus a negative? What could I turn that into? Minus a negative. That is going to become a plus sign. And that's what I'm talking about. You're going to start to notice that whatever you put in the parentheses with x is going to look opposite from the x in the point. So in the first example, my x number was 2, and in the equation it looked like x minus 2. This time it's -4, and my equation says x plus 4. The y is always the same. This one is still just +1. All right, same thing. I'm going to distribute the 1/2. So that would be 1/2 x. Half of 4 is 2. I'm going to drop down that +1. And when I combine like terms, I get 1/2 x plus 3. All right, so when I see you in class, I expect you to have watched this video, and I expect you to have an idea of which way you like, so that when I ask you to do the problem, you are going to pull out your notes and you're going to use whichever strategy you think is going to be the easiest way for you to get the answer.